Hey, welcome back. This is Rick Garza here to talk to you today about the character and the habits and the life of an entrepreneur. You know, in the world of being an entrepreneur, the real question we need to ask ourselves is how hungry are we? Because in the world of an entrepreneur, you're either coming out of a crisis, going into a crisis, or you're in the midst of a crisis. I met a gentleman by the name of Tank. Tank is the owner of Tank's Pizza off of North New Braunfels here in San Antonio. And when I met him, I knew he was the epitome of what an entrepreneur is all about. You see, my conversation with Tank was in regards to where he wanted to take his business. And in those conversations, he demonstrated to me many of the character traits that any entrepreneur would want to have within himself or herself, and also for the employees that they would bring on to their company. You know, one of the things I noticed about Tank is he provided his undivided attention. And if he couldn't give it, he respected that and communicated to us that we needed to come back at another time that he could give us his undivided attention. And you know, attentiveness is a critical character trait for an entrepreneur, to notice the details. One of the other things I noticed were the habits that he had. He was always there. When someone was talking to him, he gave them their undivided attention. And when he needed to get things done, he got things done. And I'm about to tell you a little story that demonstrates that. And as I talked more to Hank, the life that he shared with me showed me and communicated to me that while he may not have had the best start in life, he took all of the bumps and all of the potholes and all of the crises that were coming at him, and he learned from it. And he realized that if he was going to make something for himself, it wasn't because he was going to have a pity party. It was because he was going to take ownership of the things that were coming at him. And because of that, Tank started a business, and it evolved into buying a building and creating Tank's Pizza. Has a high rating and delicious food and a great audience and a great loyal set of customers. I want to encourage you to go to Tank's Pizza. They're off of North New Braunfels. But the thing that brought me to bring Tank's message to each one of you and to me was a story that he shared with me that demonstrates how you work yourself through a crisis with the right character and habits. You see, it just happened this past weekend that as he was getting his roof replaced and repositioned in order to leverage solar energy, some things happened that resulted in a fire on the roof. And the net result is it could have been a disaster because of the impact it had not only on the roof, but also on the ceiling, and the fact that inside the store there was some serious repairs that needed to be done. But you see, Hank's an entrepreneur. He's lived through crisis, gone into crisis, and come out of it. And he took the initiative and said, you know what? I've got an appointment and I've got a client that's showing up Sunday that I'm going to make sure this place is ready to roll, ready to serve my clients. So he took the initiative, got the right employees to come in, got all the tools, and early that Sunday morning, they were cleaning, they were washing, they were throwing stuff into trash bags and taking them out of that building. But you know what? When his clients showed up with their 50 to 60, if not close to 100 guests, they were ready. You see, an entrepreneur doesn't take a crisis and crumble. An entrepreneur takes a crisis and reflects back to say, you know what? I've been here before. I've overcome it. I've learned, and I'm going to push through it. And by doing that, he also demonstrated to his employees what it takes to run a business. So not only did he validate why he is a successful businessman, but he also showed to his employees through his actions what it means to be a man of character, a man of habits that would result in the success and growth of Tank's Pizza. So this morning, the question I have for you, are you about to enter a crisis? Are you in the middle of a crisis? Are you in the process of getting out of one? It doesn't really matter where you are. The question is, what character traits can you leverage? What habits have you developed in the past to get you through it? And what life examples are you going to leave behind? And also, are you going to learn as you go and as we go through our crisis in life. So Tank, thanks for sharing your story, and make it a point to go to Tank's Pizza off of North New Braunfels here in San Antonio. You have a blessed day. Bye-bye.